Hello students, today we will start with a new exercise, that is practice set 3.3. You have already completed two practice set before. Okay, before starting with the practice set or the exercise, you need to understand 2-3 properties. Okay, let's see what it is. So suppose we have a triangle and we have two sides equal. Suppose we have a triangle and we have two sides equal. And whenever in a triangle when two sides are equal, then angle opposite to them are also equal. If we have AB is equal to AC, if we have AB is equal to AC, therefore we can say that angle C will be equal to angle B. Okay? Angle opposite to equal sides are equal. Angle opposite to equal sides are equal. Okay, we have two sides equal, then angle opposite to them will be also equal. Okay, now opposite case. What is the opposite case? If we have a triangle PQR and two angles are equal, if angle Q is equal to angle R, then side opposite to it, that is PR will be equal to PQ. Okay, side opposite to equal or congruent angles are equal. This is angle opposite to congruent side. Angle opposite to equal sides are equal. If two equal sides, then angle opposite to them are also equal. And if two angles are equal, sides are equal. Okay. Now the third property. If we have, first of all, see what is the median. I will tell you what is the median. This is a triangle, and we have a median. So median is a line which divides the side into two equal parts. Median is a line which divides the side into two equal parts. But if that triangle is a right angle triangle, for example, this is a right angle triangle PQR, this is the right angle triangle, and in this right angle triangle, if I am drawing the median, only and only if it is a right angle triangle, okay, this property. So in the right angle triangle, if QT is the median, then measure QT will be the half of the hypotenuse PR, okay. In a right angle triangle, the length of the median is the half of the hypotenuse. Okay, in a right angle triangle, length of the median is the half of the hypotenuse. And the fourth property you need to see. Suppose we have a triangle ABC, and we have three medians, and the point of intersection of the three median is called centroid. So O is the centroid. O is the centroid. Point of median is divide the side into two equal parts. And point of intersection is centroid. And centroid divides its median in ratio. Centroid divides the median in ratio 2:1 from vertex. Therefore, we can say that AO. AO, I'm writing Q. AO upon OR will be 2:1. Okay? BO upon OQ will be 2:1. From vertex, CO upon OP will be 2:1. Okay, you need to remember these four properties. Now we will start with the exercise. Okay, the very first question. We have a triangle like this. Okay, ABC this, A, B, C, D. So these are the two sides and two sides. So this is X. We need to find the value of this is 50 degree, this is 60 degree, this is y, and these two sides are also equal. Find the measure of angle ABD. We need to find the measure of angle ABD, and we also need to find the measure of angle ACD. So we will start in triangle ABC. In triangle ABC, AB is equal to AC. AB is equal to AC. AB and AC are equal. If two sides are equal, angle opposite to them are equal. Therefore, I can say that angle ACB is equal to ABC. Angle opposite to equal sides are equal. Angle opposite to equal sides are equal. Okay, so I can say that ACB is 50. So ABC, that is x, is also 50. So I got the value of x. Now in the second triangle ADC. In triangle ADC, okay, you can see that BD is equal to DC. BD is equal to DC. BD is equal to DC. Two sides are equal. Therefore, angle opposite to them, that is BCD. Therefore, BCD is equal to CBD. CBD. You will write the same reason. Okay, just copy it down. So BCD is what? Y is equal to, this is 60 degrees. Okay. So what is asked? The question was find ABD. So angle ABD is nothing but ABC plus CBD. Okay, ABD is nothing but ABC plus CBD, adding those two angles. Therefore, ABD is equal to x plus 60 degree. Angle ABD is equal to, what is x? That is 50 plus 60 is equal to 110. Similarly, ACD, measure of ACD will be ACB plus BCD. ACD is equal to ACB, that is 50, plus BCD, that is Y. ACD is 50 plus, what is the value of Y? It is 60. So ACD is equal to 100. Okay, so this was the first question of your textbook. Okay, now the next question is, the length of the hypotenuse of the right angle triangle is 50. So the hypotenuse is 50. Find the length of the median of its hypotenuse. For example, this is a right angle triangle and we have a median. Okay, we know that median divides into two equal parts, and if it is a right angle triangle, this will be the half of this. Okay, therefore length of the median will be half of hypotenuse. Okay, we know that length of the median will be half of hypotenuse. So, what is the reason? In a right angled triangle, length of median is half of its hypotenuse. Okay, in a right angle triangle, length of the median, in a right angle triangle, length of median is half of its hypotenuse. Okay, if you are not understanding the handwriting, I am just reading it, so you can also write it. So half of hypotenuse. What is the hypotenuse given? 50. Therefore, length of the median, half of 15 is 7.5 centimeters. Okay, so this was the second question from your text. Now moving to the third one. What is given? In triangle PQR. So we draw a triangle PQR, where Q is 90 degree, PQ is 12, this is 12, QR is 5, and QS is the median. QS is the median. QR is 5. Okay. This is 5. I will write it 5 properly. Yes. See, as it is a right angle triangle, first of all, if I need to find the length of QS, QS is the median. If I need to find the length of QS, which is the question, first I should know the hypotenuse. So I can find out the hypotenuse using Pythagoras theorem. So in triangle PQR, angle PQR is 90 degree. 90 degree. So using Pythagoras theorem, PR square is equal to PQ square plus QR square. PR square is equal to PQ square plus QR square. PR square as it is. PQ, what is PQ? 12 square. QR is 5 square. Therefore, PR square is 144 plus 25. PR square is 169. Taking square root on both the sides, PR is equal to 30. PR is 30, that is hypotenuse is 30. Now I can find the length of QS, that is QS is the half of PR. You can just copy this reason. In a right angle triangle, length of the median is a half of the hypotenuse over here. Okay, as it is, copy paste. QS is the half of 13. And what is the half of 13? You know that half of 12 is 6. Half of 13 is 6.5. Okay, so this was the third question from your textbook. Now we will move to the fourth question. Okay. We have a triangle like this, PQR. PT, we have this median, okay, and this is the centroid. And what is the name of the centroid? It is G. Okay, so in the figure, this is 3.38, sum number 4. What is given in the figure? The point G is the point of concurrence of the median. See, what is concurrence? The word concurrence over here, whenever 3 or more lines, 2 or more lines passing from one and only one point, the point is called point of concurrence, and all these lines are called concurrent lines. Okay, concurrent and concurrence, point of concurrence, and these are concurrent line. Okay, lines are called concurrent, point is called concurrence. So it is given in the question. Okay, so median intersect, G is the point of concurrence. So all three medians are going from one point, and this is also centroid. You can call this as a centroid. So if GT is 2.5, if GT is 2.5, find the length of PG. Where is PG? Okay, PG and PT. So we know that, see, as point G is the intersection of three medians of triangle. Therefore, G is G is centroid. Okay, point G is centroid, and centroid divides the median in the ratio 2:1. Therefore, PG upon GT, I told you it divides in the ratio 2:1 from the vertex, will be 2:1. Will be 2:1. So I can say that centroid divides median in 2:1. Okay, centroid divide median in 2:1 part. So taking common factor be x. So let common factor, or I write full form, common factor be x. Therefore, PG will be 2x, GT will be 1x. Okay, I am reading it for you once again. GT is 2.5, as point G is the intersection of three median of a triangle. Three medians are intersecting at G. Therefore, I can say that PG upon GT is equal to 2:1. Centroid divides the median into ratio 2:1. Let the common factor be x. When the ratio is given, we can take common factor at x or anything, A or B. We can get PG is equal to 2x, GT is equal to 1x. But we know the value of GT. GT is 2.5. Therefore, we know the value of x is 2.5. As x is 2.5, we can say that PG is 2 into x, that is 2 into 2.5. Therefore, 2 into 2.5 is 2.5 ka double. That is 2.5 double is 5. We have PG as 5. Now what was the question? Find PG and PT. PT is the whole side. Therefore, I will write it over here. PT is nothing but PG plus GT. PG plus GT. PT is equal to PG is 5. GT is 2.5. You can see it. Therefore, adding it, I will get 7.5. So this is the value of PT and PG. Okay. So that was the end of the third exercise 3.3. Okay. In the next exercise, we will see. That is next exercise is 3.4. Okay, now we'll start with the next exercise, that is practice set 3.4. And before starting the exercise, you need to learn some properties. And these properties are very much important. Okay, pay attention. First of all, suppose this is the line AB. This is the line AB. See, a line which is 90 degree to the angle is called perpendicular. This line is called perpendicular. And the line which divides the line segment into two equal parts is called bisector. This is called perpendicular, and this is called bisector. Okay, 90 degrees is called perpendicular, and it divides into two equal parts is called bisector. But combination of both, we have line AB and we have this line. We have this line which is dividing AB into two equal parts. Therefore, it is a bisector. As well as this is also 90 degree. Okay, it is also dividing into equal parts, and it is also 90 degree. Therefore, it is called perpendicular bisector. It is called perpendicular bisector. See, now property of perpendicular bisector. This is a perpendicular bisector. I'll just draw it properly over here for better understanding. This is AB. This is perpendicular bisector PQ, suppose. Okay, Q it is over here, don't worry. or equal sides means bisector, antidegradient is perpendicular. Now any point lying on this perpendicular bisector, suppose take this as x. X lies on perpendicular bisector AB. So when I will measure the distance of x from A and x from B, this will be equal. The property is any point lying on the perpendicular bisector is equidistant from the two points of the line segment. Okay? Any point lying on the perpendicular bisector is equidistant from the 2 points of the line segment. Suppose the point is over here, then also this part will be equal to this part. Suppose point is over here, extending this perpendicular bisector, then also this part is equal to this part. Okay? Any point lying on the perpendicular bisector is equidistant from the 2 points of the line segment. And suppose we have, so we should remember this. I will write the statement: any point lying on the perpendicular, this is perpendicular, this is bisector, is equidistant from 2 points of the line segment. Line segment. Okay, any point lying on the perpendicular bisector is equidistant from the 2 points of the line segment. Okay, so this was the first property. Please write it down. Okay, now the opposite of this. And what is the opposite of this? This is the line PQ and there is a point. Okay, I don't know this is a perpendicular or I don't know whether this is bisector or not. But this is a line and we have suppose T, and this T is equidistant from P and Q. Okay, so if a point is equidistant from 2 points of the line segment, then that point lies on the perpendicular bisector. Okay, try to remember this. We have a line segment, we have a perpendicular. What we are having? We have a line segment and we are having the perpendicular. Then points are equal. What is over here? First of all, points are equal. Okay, this point is equidistant from P and Q. If a point is equidistant from 2 points of the line segment, then remember this, then any point lying on the perpendicular equidistant from the 2 points, any point lying on the perpendicular bisector. Okay, this is okay, but remember over here, if the point is equidistant from the 2 points, equidistant from the 2 points of the line segment, then only if it is equidistant, then only we can say that this point is lying on the perpendicular bisector. Or we can say that this TS is the perpendicular bisector. Why can we say that TS is the perpendicular bisector? Because this is equidistant from P and Q. Okay, you will understand more about this in the exercise. Okay, so this is there, which is very much important. Now, angle bisector. These properties you need to remember for 10th standard as well. So, see it properly. This is ABC. This is angle ABC. Okay, and if we are drawing the bisector, what is the meaning of bisector? Bisector divides the angle into 2 equal parts. Okay, now any point lying on this bisector, suppose this is BP, any point lying on this bisector BP, suppose it is over here, So this point is equidistant from the two sides of the angle. That is, distance is always a perpendicular distance. So this distance and this distance will be equal. This distance and this distance will be equal. If I am extending this distance and this distance will be equal. Distance is talking about perpendicular distance. Okay? Any point lying on the perpendicular bisector is equidistant from the two sides of the angle. Okay? It is given in the textbook on page number 40. Okay? Every point on the bisector of an angle is equidistant from the sides of the angle. Any point on the bisector of the angle is equidistant from the side of the angle. You can copy it down. And the opposite of this, suppose we have a point T over here, and T is equidistant from the two sides of the angle. Okay, we just know that point T is equidistant from these two sides of the angle. Then if this is equidistant from two sides of the angle, therefore we can say that T lies on angle bisector. Okay, T lies, if any other point is there, suppose here is a point which is equidistant. After extending this, if I am saying this is equidistant from this and this, okay, therefore we can say that this will pass, angle bisector will pass from that point. Okay, because this point is equidistant from the two sides of the angle. Got it? So these are the four important properties that you need to remember for solving the sums of the next exercise. Let's see how many of you can understand it. There are some more properties, but that we will see after the sum starts. So we have a diagram like this: x, y, z. We have a. Okay, so here we have a perpendicular. Here we have a perpendicular at x, at z. Okay, so a point A is on the bisector of xyz. Point A is on bisector of xyz. Point A is on the bisector of angle xyz. Okay, so as A is on the bisector of xyz, what is the question? If AX is 2 cm, what is AZ? So AZ will also be 2 cm. So we can say that point A is on the bisector of angle xyz. Therefore, we can say that AX is equal to AZ. Any point on the bisector of angle is, any point on the bisector of the angle is equidistant from the sides of the angle. Okay, any point on the bisector of the angle is equidistant from the sides of the angle. Okay, or you can write the reason which is given in the textbook. Every point on the bisector of the angle is equidistant from the, yes, same it is given. Nothing else. So what is AX? As AX is 2 cm, therefore AZ is also 2 centimeters. Got it? Okay, so that's it. Next sum. What is the next sum? In the figure 3.49, we have a diagram like this. TSR, okay, and we have point P, where PT is perpendicular to ST, PR is perpendicular to SR. Okay, so angle RST means this whole angle is 56 degrees. Okay, PT is perpendicular, that I told you. PR is equal to PT. PR is equal to PT. Find the measure of angle RSP. And to find this, okay. See, we know that point P as point P is at equal distance from point P is at equal distance from ST and SR, from ST and SR. Okay, how could we know that P is at equal distance from ST and SR? Because we are given that TP is equal to RP. Because TP is equal to RP, you can write reason over here as TP is equal to RP. Okay, point P is at a equal distance. I told you if a point is equal distance from the sides of the angle, therefore I can say that therefore SP is the bisector of SP is the bisector of angle RST, angle of angle RST. Okay, any point equidistant from the sides of the angle lies on the bisector or lies on the angle bisector. Okay, I am reading for you. Any point equidistant from the sides of angle lies on angle bisector. Therefore, if this is equidistant, so I can say that this lies on angle bisector. Therefore, I can say SP is the bisector of RST. See, what do you mean by bisector? Bisector divides the angle into two equal parts. Therefore, angle RSP will be half of angle RST, okay, as SP is the angle bisector, okay, and SP is the angle bisector, therefore RSP is the half of 56, angle RSP is the half of 56, that is 28 degrees. Okay, so this was the second sum of your textbook. Okay, now the next part is about the greater angle and smaller angle. See, before starting this, pay attention. In a triangle, suppose this is 80, this is 60, and this is 40. Okay, pay attention properly. In this triangle ABC, this is 80, 40 and 60, okay, irrespective of the correct measures. So, what is the greatest angle? Angle B is the greatest. After that, angle A, and after that, angle C. Okay, we can say that B is greater than A, which is greater than C. Okay, whenever we have like this, then angle side opposite to greater angle will be greater. So we can say that AC will be greater than BC will be greater than AB. Okay, this you need to understand. Okay, side opposite to greater angle is greater, smaller angle is smaller, and vice versa. If sides are greater, then angles are also greater opposite to them. So let's see the third one. In triangle PQR, PQ is equal to 10, QR is equal to 12, PR is equal to 8. Find out the greatest and the smallest angle. So 12 is the greatest side. So side opposite to greatest side we have greatest angle. So we can say that as QR is the greatest side. Okay, QR is the greatest side. Therefore, we can say that angle P is the greatest angle. And what is the next? Smallest. So which is the smallest side? PR. As PR is the smallest side. Therefore, angle Q is the smallest angle. Okay, so that was very easy. QR is the greatest side. So angle P is the greatest angle. PR is the smallest side. So angle Q is the smallest angle. Okay, so that's it for the third one. Now we move to the fourth one. Sums are very easy, isn't it? In triangle FAN, that is FAN, F is equal to 80 degrees, A is equal to 40 degree, and N, we don't know. See, sum of all the angles of the triangle I can easily find out. First I will do that. That is angle F plus angle A plus angle N is 180. Sum of all the angle of triangle. Okay, sum of all the angles of triangle. Angle F is 80, A is 40, angle N I don't know. 80 plus 40, 120 will go there. So 180 minus 120 is 60 degrees. So angle N is 60 degrees. Okay, now what is the question? Find out the greatest and the smallest side. So greatest angle is F and smallest angle is A. So as angle F and angle A are greatest and smallest angles respectively. Okay, angle F and angle A are greatest and smallest angle respectively. Therefore, AN is the greatest side and FN is the smallest side. Okay, I hope you are capable of reading it. I am still reading means capable for seeing this small handwriting. Okay, I am still reading it. You can hear it properly. Okay, F and A are greatest and smallest angles respectively. F is greatest and A is smallest respectively. Means F is greatest, A is smallest. So side opposite to greatest is AN. So AN is the greatest side. FN is the smallest angle, so it is opposite to smallest. So you can write angle side opposite to greater angle is greater. Okay, you can write side opposite. You can write the reason over here. Sides opposite to greater angle is greater. Okay. I will move to the next one. Fifth one. Prove that equilateral triangles is equiangular. Prove that equilateral triangles are equiangular. What do you mean by equilateral triangle? All the sides are equal. So I take triangle PQR. All the sides are equal. So let triangle PQR be the equilateral triangle. Let the triangle PQR be the equilateral triangle. As all the sides are same, all the angles opposite to them are same. Therefore, angle P, so see, as it is the equilateral triangle, I can say that PQ is equal to QR is equal to PR. Okay, all the sides are equal, so angle opposite to them are also equal. Therefore, I can say that therefore angle R is equal to angle P. Sorry, angle R is equal to angle P is equal to angle, so R, P and Q. Angles opposite to equal sides, we have already seen that equal sides are okay. So equilateral triangle are equiangular. That's it. Therefore, you can write the final statement. Therefore, all the angles are equal. Therefore, equilateral triangles are equiangular. Write this reason properly. Angle opposite to equal sides are equal. So that would be the correct. Okay. So that was the fifth one. Now move to the sixth one. Okay. Okay. What is this? There is the sixth question. Prove that the bisector of angle BAC. So I will write like this. Draw a triangle B. A, B, C. Okay, pay attention properly. It is a very interesting and a difficult one. Prove that the bisector of angle BAC. So I'll do one thing. I'll just put A over there and B over here. So for means better understanding of it. Okay. So BAC, bisector of BAC, which BAC is bisector is over here. So this is the bisector. Bisector divides the angle into two equal parts. Okay, I'll write this point of intersection as D. So again I will read the question. Prove that the bisector of angle BAC, this is the bisector of angle BAC of triangle ABC is perpendicular to the side. Is perpendicular. The bisector is also perpendicular. Okay. So it is a very interesting question. To BC, then triangle ABC is an isosceles triangle. Means we need to prove that. To prove that TPT, prove that triangle ABC is an isosceles triangle. Okay, what do you mean by isosceles triangle? When two sides of the triangles are equal, we can say that it is an isosceles triangle. So let's start. We have two triangles. Okay, pay attention. We have two triangles in triangle ADB. In triangle ADB. Okay, this diagram is drawn with the help of the sentence given in the textbook. Okay, so in triangle ADB and triangle ADC. ADC. Okay, I know this is the bisector, so can I say that BAD, angle BAD is equal to CAD? This is given, so I am writing given over here. AD is there in this triangle, AD is there in that triangle, so I can say that AD is equal to AD, common side. Okay, and angle ADB is equal to angle ADC, each 90 degree. How come I know that this is 90 degree? They have said that the bisector of angle BAC intersect BC at 90 degree, or it is perpendicular. Okay, I will read the question again. The bisector of BAC is perpendicular to BC. It is perpendicular to BC. So if you observe the triangle properly, we have angle, we have side, and again we have angle. Therefore, triangle ADB is congruent to triangle ADC by angle side angle test. Okay, we have already seen this test in the first exercise, or you can see in the previous videos. Okay, so ADB and ADC. two triangles are congruent. If two triangles are congruent, okay, what they have asked? If two triangles are congruent, corresponding sides are equal. Means AB of this triangle will be equal to AC of that triangle. Okay, if two triangles are congruent, the two sides will be equal. Corresponding sides will be equal. So I will write corresponding sides of congruent triangle. Okay, and if two sides of the triangle are equal, then therefore you can say that therefore triangle ABC isosceles triangle. And angle ABC is an, I should write triangle. I am just writing the short form. So I hope you understood it. Read the question properly and then draw the diagram. Okay. Now we'll move to the seventh one. Seventh one. In the figure 3.50, okay, I draw the figure. It is already given actually. It is PQ RS PQ RS. What else is given? This is equal to this. Okay, PR is equal to PQ, so I can directly say that this part is equal to this part. Okay, just write it later on. Show that PS is greater than PQ. We need to prove that. To prove that PS is greater than PQ. Okay, pay attention properly. Sum is going to be very interesting. Proof. In triangle APQR, in triangle PQR, okay, in triangle PQR, can I say that PQ is equal to PR? Yes, PQ is equal to PR, which is given. Okay, this is a very important question. Star mark is okay. So in triangle PQR, PQ is equal to PR. If two sides are equal, angles are same, base angles are same. Therefore, angle PQR is equal to angle PRQ. PQR is equal to angle PRQ. Okay. So PQR is equal to PRQ. Angles opposite to equal sides are angle opposite to equal sides are equal. Okay, so these two angles are equal. I will do one thing. Let these two angles, that is PQR and PRQ, be X. So I am taking this as X, taking this as X, and naming it as number 1. Okay, naming it as number 1. Okay, I will do one thing. I will just erase this part of the board because I may need it to solve this sum. So PQR is X, PRQ is also X. Then what else I can do? Okay, so see PRS. Can I say that PRS is the exterior angle of this triangle? Okay, see, pay attention. Leave it there only. If I am saying that A is equal to B plus C, okay, means if I am getting A, for example, take numbers 50 is equal to 30 plus 20, whatever you get. Okay, 50 is the sum of or 30 plus 20. Okay, just see. If I am saying that A is equal to sum of two numbers, then it is sure that A is greater than the individual each term. Okay, so I can say that A is greater than B and A is greater than C. If I am saying that X is equal to Y plus Z, means I am getting the value of X by adding two numbers. So I can say that X is greater than Y and X is greater than Z. Okay, one more example. If I am saying that my age, okay, my name is Nikki, first of all, my age is a sum of two children or two kids, suppose Ram and Sham. Okay, my age is 26, Ram's age is 14 and Sham's age is 12. Okay, so I can say that Nikki is greater than Ram or elder. Nikki is elder than Sham. If 26 is the sum of two numbers, then this individual number is greater than both of them. Okay, that you need to understand it. So let's continue with the question now. Now we know that PRS is an exterior angle of triangle PQR. I will write angle PRS is an exterior angle of triangle PQR. Okay, PRS is the exterior angle of triangle PQR. I will continue over here. Therefore, measure of the exterior angle. Therefore, angle PRS is the sum of the two remote interior angles, that is angle Q plus angle QPR. PRS, that is exterior angle, is equal to, okay, I write it over here. PRS, which is the exterior angle, is the sum of Q plus QPR. Remote or measure of the exterior angle is equal to the sum of two remote interior angles. Okay, I'm just reading it for you. I can write exterior angle is equal to, measure of the exterior angle is equal to sum means addition of what? Addition of two remote, not the one which is nearer to it, remote interior angles. Okay, so I can write PRS is equal to angle Q means X plus QPR. Okay, PRS, that is exterior angle, is equal to sum of Q plus QPR. Now, as PRS is sum of two angles, so I can say that PRS is greater than angle X, as well as PRS is greater than QPR, but I am not interested in QPR right now. So PRS is greater than X. PRS in place of X, I can write PRQ also and PQR also. Okay, but what I will write, obviously X is nothing but Q means this, but we know that X is equal to PRQ also and PQR also. I will write PRQ. Why PRQ? Because we have PQ which is opposite to PRQ. Okay, we will come to that. So in place of X, I wrote PRQ because PRQ is equal to X from 1. Okay, now as PRS is greater than PRQ, so PRS angle is greater than PRQ, so side opposite to PRS will be greater, therefore PS will be greater than side opposite to PRQ, that is PQ. What was the proof? PS is greater than PQ. Okay, you can write side opposite to greater angle is. Okay, I hope you found this sum very interesting. Okay, star mark this question. We will move to the next one, that is the 8th one. Okay, done. Okay, now we will start with the 8th question. What is given in triangle ABC? We have a triangle ABC, you can say AD and BE are altitudes. AD, so this is altitude, you can see this is 90 degree over here, and BE, so this is also altitude. you can also see 90 degree over here. AE is equal to BD, that is AE means this part, the smaller one, is equal to this part, the smaller one of this triangle. Okay, so we need to prove that AD, we need to prove this altitude AD is equal to altitude BD. So let's start. First of all, what we can do is 90 degree, we have ABB, altitude A is equal to BE, 90 degree. Okay, fine. So I'll draw two triangles separately, okay, for your understanding. I have A, I have this 90 degree, A, E, B, okay, A, E, B, and we have another triangle ADB. We have other triangle ADB. Okay, so this was 90 degree and this was 90 degree. What was equal? This was equal to this. Okay, so we need to prove that. I will write over here what we need to prove. To prove that AD is congruent to BE. AD is congruent to BE. Okay, so AD, that is altitude. Okay, this part. So I will start. In triangle, I have two triangles AEB. Okay, A congruent side, E and B, that is AEB, and triangle BDA. BDA. Observe how I am writing the names. I am starting with the congruent side and again I am starting with the congruent side, BDA. So in these two triangles we know that AE is equal to BD. I will write AE is equal to BD given. Okay, AE is equal to BD, which is given, and angle AEB. Angle AEB is equal to angle BDA, each 90 degree. Okay, so this was given, this side was equal to this side, this angle is 90 degree, and if you can see it properly, I have AB in this triangle as well as AB in that triangle, so AB is equal to AB. I can say common side. AB is equal to AB, common side. Okay, now pay attention. AB and AB was the hypotenuse. We have hypotenuse, we have side, and we have 90 degree. So we can say that triangle AEB, therefore, triangle AEB is congruent to triangle BDA by hypotenuse side test. That also we have already seen in the previous exercise how hypotenuse side test is used. We should have hypotenuse and one of the other side. So two triangles are congruent by which test? Hypotenuse side test. If two triangles are congruent, can I say that corresponding sides are equal? Corresponding sides, that is AD, okay, AD is over here, and BE. So I can say that BE is congruent to AD, last two, okay, corresponding sides of congruent triangle, okay. You can get this as corresponding sides of congruent triangle. Yes, that only you need to prove. So we are done with the question, okay. So that's it. Okay, now we'll start with the new exercise, that is 3.5. Okay, it is about similarities. First, let's see what is similarities. Suppose, okay, I have a passport size photo in my wallet. Okay, you can see my shoulders and my face. Okay, this is a passport size photo. But in case something happens with me and I am dead, okay, मैं मर गया, for example, so that same photo will be enlarged on the wall, okay, with the garlands. Okay, the same photo is enlarged, so this photo and this photo are similar but not congruent. This photo and this is enlarged, okay, in some ratio, okay, it's multiplying something. So all sides are enlarged equally. Means if this side is multiplied by 500, this also side is multiplied by 500, this also side is multiplied by 500, this also is 500. So I can say that two images or two triangles or two quadrilaterals can be similar, they can look alike, but it does not mean that they are congruent. Okay, so congruent we used to use sign like this, in similar we will use like this. Okay, so the first chapter of the 10th standard is similarities. We will just see some basic points of similarities now. Okay, so wait a minute. So I'll just erase this. You need to just solve some basic problems on this. If triangle XYZ, triangle XYZ is similar to triangle LMN, if two triangles are similar, write the corresponding angles. See, and corresponding angles of two triangles, also write the ratio of this corresponding sides. So, see, whenever two triangles are similar, we can write corresponding angles. That is first one, that is angle X will be equal to angle L. Okay, if two triangles are similar, angles are equal. Angle Y is equal to angle M, angle Z is equal to angle N. Okay, and ratio of these corresponding sides, ratio means what? XY upon LM, first two, XY upon LM, ratio means something upon something. YZ upon MN, last two is equal to YZ upon MN, and first last, that is XZ upon LN. You can say that corresponding angles of similar triangle, and you can write this as corresponding sides of similar triangle. CAST, CSST. Okay, so this was the first one, that's it. Now let's move to the next one. In triangle PQR, okay, I'll use this side. In triangle PQR, what is given? Oh, XYZ is, sorry, it is XYZ again. XY is equal to 4, so XY is equal to 4, YZ is equal to 6, YZ is equal to 6, and XZ is equal to 5. Okay, if triangles are similar, and we have PQ also, I'll just come to that. PQ is equal to 8, it is written after that. If triangles are similar, which triangles are similar? Triangle XYZ is similar to triangle PQR. Then we need to find the remaining sides. It is very easy. Okay, let's do it. So if two triangles are similar, sides are in proportion. So I can say that XY upon PQ, first two, YZ upon QR, and XZ upon PR. Okay, corresponding sides of similar triangle. What is XY? It is 4. PQ, it is 8. YZ, 6. QR, I don't know. XZ, 5. And PR, again I don't know. So this can be reduced. 4 ones are 4 twos are, so it is 1 upon 2 is equal to 6 upon QR. Okay, all three are equal to each other. 1 upon 2 is equal to 6 upon QR, and 1 upon 2 is also equal to 5 upon PR. this is equal to this as well as this is equal to this. All three are equal to each other. So QR will go that side, 2 will go that side, 6 2s are 12, so I have value of QR as 12. PR will come this side, 2 5s will be 10, so I have the remaining sides 12 and 10. Okay, now that's it for the second one. Now third one. What is the third one? Let's see. I'll just erase the first one as I need to do the third one. Okay, I think it is possible to do it over here only. Draw a sketch of a pair of similar triangles, label them, show their corresponding angles by the same sign. Also show the length of the corresponding sides by the numbers in proportion. Okay, so we will draw a triangle like this. See, this is a triangle and this is a. Okay, they look similar, isn't it? I'll name them as ABC, A, B, C and P, Q, R. Okay, so I'll say this angle is equal to this angle, same sign, okay, same sign means same symbol, and this angle is equal to this angle. So I'm done with the first part. What is the first part? Draw the sketch of the pair of the similar triangles. So sketch is ready. Label them. I have named them. Show their corresponding angles by the same sign. So corresponding angles are done. Show the length of the corresponding sides by the number in proportion. So see, if I will take 2, so double of 2 I will take over here 4. You can take triple, 4 times, 5 times, whatever. 2 double 4, 6 double 12 and 8 double 16. So that whenever I will take ratio, 2 upon 4 is 1 upon 2, 6 upon 12 is 1 upon 2, 8 upon 16 is 1 upon 2. So that's it for the practice set 3.5. I hope each and every exercise are understood. Okay, so if you have any problem with showing the congruency, side angle side test, hypotenuse side test, then go to the first exercise, see it, then come to this exercise. Okay, thank you so much.